He's so Vaeni. He's so Vaeni.
Aloha, and welcome to He's So Vaeni. Or as I like to call it, let's get this over with. Because, frankly, I'm tired. My back kind of hurts. And I'm wearing my sex pest glasses that I got in like 2013 or 2014. So they're not quite the prescription that I'm used to currently. What happened was I was on a tractor mowing and my hat flew off and blew my glasses off my face with it. And I probably stepped on them. They broke. And yeah, so now for like another week or two, I'm stuck with these. So, but I had to come up here to the workshop and I decided, maybe I'll dive back into those old videos that I haven't watched and I haven't, I see enough of them to put them on a list, and then I don't, I forget about them, basically. So, but I think it's pretty easy for me to remember why I put these on the list, even if I haven't seen them. So we're going to look at a short one. What are we going to look at? Kundalini Awakening Facilitators Training Level 1 by Kundalini Awakening. That's right, school. A school for Kundalini Awakening, and they've got like a 1-minute video here. So I'll just say it. Let's make fun of them. Like, subscribe, ring a bell, and then let's make fun of them. Okay. What does hugging have to do with anything? I mean, so far so good, right? Because I knew this was not going to be something I wouldn't make fun of. But it just strikes me as odd, the hugging, that would be the first thing that you see is hugging for Kundalini training school. It's just, I don't know, that's weird, right? Like, because the first thing you see is like, people may click off this, even though it's only like a minute long. So if they're going to want to come to your training school, you're going to want to lead with your message, right? You don't want to bury the lead. So the message is what? Come here and free hugs? Are we sure that this is Kundalini Awakening and not Moment Shants? Does anyone remember? Nothing, right? Oh. Orgy Masturbation, the musical. I mean, really, what? Mom and Dad, I'm going to school. Bye. And now this jellyfish. Like, what the fuck? What is going on? What are they selling? Jazz hands? What are they selling? This is like, when you hear about Kundalini, right? You hear like, oh, this ancient Indian serpentine goddess energy that you activate and it rises up the spine. And then what you get is like just a bunch of hippies dancing around and playing with themselves, right? Like that's just okay. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Won't you join me for class? That's the funniest part of all. Expand your consciousness. Maybe we need to have a talk about that. Like, what do you think it means to expand your consciousness? Like, do you think that that's an example of expanding your consciousness? Just really? Uh, um, doing primal scream therapy into pillows? Is that it? Mutual masturbation? Is that it? Manscaping? Is that it? That's it for me. That's all I got. So you know what? Let's go to another video because I'm cleaning out my closet here and I've got one more Kundalini video. I have not seen this, but apparently, well, judging by the title and the fact that I actually wrote down the description of the guy, which I never do. I always like take the link because I want to link to it in the description. So go watch this again on your own time. But I never take like the description of what's going on or anything. But apparently this one's really special. Allow me to squint at my screen. The Connection Between Orgasm and Kundalini Awakening by Shai Tubali. And this is what I took from, I guess this is Shai Tubali's resume here. Shai Tubali is an internationally renowned author, speaker, and innovator in the field of inner transformation and personal development. Internationally, anyone heard of him? He has developed a unique, holistic approach to helping others self-actualize and become the best version of themselves possible from physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual angles. I'm assuming I wrote down the description of him because then you go to the title, and again, it's the connection between orgasm and Kundalini Awakening. So this is going to help you become the best person you can be somehow. What is this fascination? Well, I mean, I get it. It's a selling point. But for people who aren't selling it, but who are buying it, what is the thing that you're buying when you hear like, Kundalini is sexual energy or Kundalini and orgasm, you know, these sorts of things. What is that you're attracted to? Maybe I'm just a prude and I don't understand. I mean, it's total bullshit. Let's just get that out of the way. But nevertheless, there's something there that's obviously attractive to people where like they will pay hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars to like go on this retreat and do this and like spread their legs and have someone shout into their crotch, whatever, in a group setting with strangers, like on an island somewhere. Now, I live on an island somewhere. Why can't I get that gig? Why? Maybe I should start this, but the shouting doesn't work when you're masked up, and I like to mask up so that I don't spread COVID to people. But that's just me. But anyway, what is the fucking attraction to that? Like, that's just... I mean, do swingers stuff, man. Go have real sex. I don't understand what's going on. Is it all just working out mommy and daddy issues? Is that all it is? Probably that's always the answer. But all right, let's take a look at this guy and see what he has to say about the connection between orgasm and Kundalini. We'll see how far we get into this before I self-destruct.
The central channel has two ends.
That's the size of his dick, by the way. Sorry. I mean, if he's going to be this immature, why can't... never mind.
This is...
Because I'm better than that. I'm not better than that. All right. Sorry. We'll do this from the top. Let's not go from the top.
This is the first upper end. This is where it begins. Then it culminates. It has a lower end that is the sexual organs. So when it ends in the navel chakra, it actually continues all the way through the sexual organs, all the way to the tip of the sexual organ.
Very nice, yes. All right. Again, I'm at a loss to understand how anyone can, on the one hand, hear that Kundalini is like a goddess, right? A goddess, an energy that is sentient and alive. And then on the other hand, just believe like it's this energy that travels from here to your pee-pee and back or whatever. Like,
Either the clitoris or the tip of the penis.
hmm.
Now, this is greatly significant, and this is why people get so hooked on sex. Why is sex so amazing? Why is sex so fascinating for so many people?
I don't know, because it feels really good. How's that? Nothing?
That they become obsessed with it. This is because through sex they have the closest experience to Mahamudra. Why do they have the closest experience to Mahamudra? This is because when you begin to arouse the sexual organs, the energy begins, because it is the lower end of the central channel, the arousal begins to bring the energy up all the way to the crown in the very same way.
Now, I don't have to tell you that I'm suspicious of this. I don't know what the word is he's talking about, but I know this doesn't have anything to do with Kundalini. I know that much. Also, I would think that the reason sex feels really good, at the very least, is more materialist than that, right? Like, sex has to feel really good, or why would we make babies? So,
When we begin to feel the energy going upwards, at a certain point, if the orgasmic sensation is continuous, first of all, it is spreading throughout throughout many subtle nadis. Therefore, we feel that the orgasm is spreading throughout the entire body. Second, it reaches eventually the crown, the brain, and there it creates a sort of a melting and therefore an orgasmic sensation also throughout the head.
aren't nadis another word for chakra? So when people are always talking about chakra blockages or, the Kundalini, causes them pain or good feelings or however it shakes out as it's clearing out their chakra blockages. But it sounds like if you just have an orgasm, you're just blowing out them blockages anyway, right? Is that not how that works? But also, what about just like, I don't know, your nerves? Your nerves feeling good? Nothing?
Now, for men, this ends immediately as soon as they ejaculate. So what happens is that they get the sensation of arousal, the energy goes all the way up, and it is extraordinary because it is actually spiritual. And just when the orgasm takes place, they enter a brief moment of Mahamudra. This spaciousness, this explosion of the mind. But then the ejaculation puts an immediate end to it, because we all of a sudden release everything outwardly. It is not contained inside, and therefore the energy immediately falls back, and we actually experience some kind of melancholy, some kind of a strange feeling of, I was there. But now the powerful energy that has been accumulated is now gone.
Well, is it melancholy or is it just you're back in balance? We love to romanticize the orgasm. I guess that goes hand in hand, right? Romance and orgasm. But, like the little death. That's what he's talking about, right? Um, and we romanticize it in the weirdest way of like, yeah, there's this moment of like, he's talking about it in terms of sort of nothingness or spaciousness, but really it's like this moment of complete release and therefore freedom. And then the immediate coming back to yourself. And like, there's this little moment of depression or melancholy. And it's like, just do it, man, and get over it. What are you talking about? But okay, let's give them all this. Where is this going? What does this have to do with Kundalini?
So we feel actually a sort of a falling down, a collapse. Now, also women, if they don't preserve the energy and channel it correctly, and use this inner fire that is built throughout sexual energy, because this is what happens. We are creating inner fire. We are using exactly this source of inner heat. We are cooking the energy. It becomes very hot.
Women are making eggs. You know, if you don't like and subscribe and ring a bell to this episode, go fuck yourself. This is good stuff.
So if women are not conscious of that and they don't preserve it and move it all the way up, and this also evaporates in other ways, subtler ways than ejaculation. So in this sense, for men, it is more problematic. Not that I'm talking here against any kind of seminal ejaculation for the rest of your life, but
sounds like you are, sir. Sounds like you are.
It is something that we need to be aware of. And certainly, as soon as we are starting to practice inner fire, we will need less and less of that seminal ejaculation, because we will know how to contain it, conduct it, and experience a much stronger orgasm that becomes a continuous state, that becomes bliss, and then merges into emptiness, which leads to Mahamudra realization. And there is no greater orgasm than that. Basically, all orgasms, they point to this final explosion.
I don't know what Mamudra realization is. Of course, I don't have internet with me at the moment, but I will look it up, and then maybe I'll just like put some words on the screen here or there or wherever, and as, like a little definition. But this is sheerly nonsense. Well, how much more of this? There's only a little bit left, so let's carry on, and then we'll get back to the nonsense. Oh, and by that I mean it's over. Never mind. Okay. Well, here, let me rewind it so I can remember what the nonsense is.
There is no greater orgasm than that. Basically, all orgasms, they point to this final explosion.
So, I mean, is Mamudra Kundalini Awakening? I don't know why Kundalini Awakening is in this description, and I don't know what this has to do with making me a better person per his job description. But the idea that like there's some sort of goal involving Kundalini, because he's got Kundalini in the title, so I'm going to assume that this is related to Kundalini, is to create some sort of orgasmic headspace where you're constantly in a state of orgasm, is simply not it. Like, and then what? And then you walk around like, like what? Like you just make the O face, whatever that is for you, for the rest of your life, and people look at you like, you know, I didn't think about this before, but this is actually the perfect episode for my sex pest classes. So I'm having more fun than I thought. Boy, I was tired when I came into this. But look, so Kundalini is not any, as you know, if you've ever heard me talk about Kundalini, it's not any of the crap that you ever see on YouTube. So, which is why I like having fun with this stuff. it is, of course, I'm getting my words jumbled because there are three things that I want to say at once. One is that I'm writing a book about it, so I'm not going to spoiler my own book by telling you exactly what this is that's going on here. But two, the reason I can write a book and talk about this at all is because it is within me 24/7 and has been for many, many years. And then I don't remember what the third one is, but probably it's some apology for the first one, I guess. But but I will say that it is intelligence. This energy in it's intelligence. It is the intelligence of silence, and it may utilize orgasms for healthful reasons. I think I've talked about this maybe on this show before, but definitely written about it, talked about it elsewhere. Like sometimes, so it maneuvers the body. It is a will unto its own. It maneuvers the body, but not just random crap. Not this, not jazz hands, not any of that stuff. Not puppetry over your abdomen so that you have an orgasm and you're like, I hate my father. It does a lot of different things that are organized and intelligent, as you would expect from any intelligence. And so some of what it does is acupressure, and some of what it does is sort of tap out lines on your body. And it may just tap out a line to an area that you've injured over and over and over again. Do it. Tapping a line from that area to your junk, and then give you an orgasm, and then slam your thighs closed so that you don't actually ejaculate, but that the energy of the orgasm flows to where it is that you have tapped out. And I don't know what the sciencey thing is, but probably endorphins are released and go that way, which have healing properties. That is my pseudosciency guess. But whatever it is, I do think it is something physical and aiding health that way. That is one use of the orgasm. There's another that I'm not going to talk about. And then there's another that I don't know what the hell happened. That I've written about in urgency. But there's nothing nefarious or anything like that going on. That's not why I'm not talking about it. I just don't want to talk about it. But sex pest classes. Hmm? I'll babysit your children, yes. But in terms of like it, building up this orgasmic, a la Sting in 1980s through the 90s, building up your tolerance to sex and all that tantra stuff, like that's not Kundalini. That's not what it's about. There is no building up to an orgasmic energy. I feel like a lot of this orgasmic talk and sexual energy talk is a mistake, an assumption, but it's also like mistaking the metaphor, like the rise and explosion of energy out your crown chakra or whatever. Like that sounds orgasmic, but then so does a volcano going off, But it's really, I mean, I guess, you could make an argument for both in some way, but it's not what you're thinking. Like, the volcano going off ain't really an orgasm. Like, you're not going to feel that, right? So I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is, like, if I started talking about the rising of Kundalini as a volcano going off, you wouldn't think that you've got a volcano sitting at the base chakra or whatever that explodes lava up into your body and then shoots out your head or whatever the thing is. You would realize that was like a metaphor or an analogy. But for some reason, when it comes to orgasm, we're like, no, that's what's going on here. It's like super orgasm. That's what Kundalini's doing. And it's just, it's not. So there you go. The two are separate phenomena, orgasm and Kundalini. Kundalini is an intelligence that may utilize orgasm just as you may utilize orgasm, but that doesn't make you Kundalini. So there you go. You've learned a little something. You've had a laugh. Now like, subscribe. And buy me a coffee, as the kids say, at ko-fi.com, ko-fi.com/Jvay, Jayvay. It's on the screen right now. Buy me a coffee. That's the way of saying donate to me, but it makes it sound as though I'm not begging for change. It makes it sound as though I love coffee, which I do. I enjoy coffee. So if you want to buy me a coffee at ko-fi, however you want to pronounce it, .com/Jvay, do that. I'm not going to use it for new glasses because they're coming. But I will use it for a new catchment tank, which is costing us $11,000. So if you want me to drink water, this is the giggliest episode ever. And it has nothing to do with sex. I'm just tired.
He's so vain.